So I want to find out what your challenges are, what your pain points are, what your issues are, and let's come up with some possibilities of how we can solve those so you can move on to the next step in your life. So relating that to your way of warrior training, personal development training, what I see is that we can get out of our own way, out of our own bullshit, out of our own story.
Amen.
And really start focusing on being of service to others.
Yeah. See, you can't be in two different places at the same time. I can't be inside my own internal experience and out here with you. I've got to be out here. It cannot be day and night. You know, one thing, I study the brain. I'm a brain scientist. And one thing I learned about the brain is it cannot hold two polar opposite things in the same space.
Yes.
It cannot be day and night at the same time. You cannot be grateful and a victim at the same time. I can do them 2 minutes apart. I don't know about you guys, but I can do it about 2 minutes apart, but not at the same time. And you cannot be in here in your own map of reality and out there connecting with people at the same time. You've got to choose. But here's the problem. The two biggest issues with every single human being is the heart and the mind. And as a human behavioral specialist, I work on the heart and the mind, because you even hear about in the political spectrum, you know, we're working on getting the hearts and minds of people. See, that's what you do as a salesperson. You got two portals of entry as an assistant buyer, as a whatever you want to call yourself. You can I forgot what I was saying now. But
you know what just from my years of meditation and personal development, traveling the world, working with lots of people like Stephanie has, the journey from the heart to the mind, it's a short distance, but it's the longest journey, right? Because the idea is to connect your heart and your mind so that when you're present and then you're passionate about what you're doing, we can be of the highest level of service to our current and potential clients and to everyone around us. You know, what do you think about that, Steph?
Well, that actually sparked a thought, because Scott, you know, the longer you're in an industry, the more people reach out and ask, you know, I wish you could just share with me where your success has come from, which in my mind, I mean, that's like, I can't even answer that question, because one, it's grit, two, it's work ethic, but three, what I can't teach to people is the way I communicate with people, because I get exactly what you and Lisa Marie are saying, even though I haven't been through your training. I know your training is going to bring me even more value. But I think the truth behind that is in years, 26 years in the business, I have figured it out. I've evolved with it, but that's what I can't teach people to do. No matter how much I try, I cannot teach them that piece of the business. And that's the most important piece.
Well, you know why? See, this is where it goes back to, I teach people about how they work. There are 4 levels of learning. So the highest level of learning is something called unconscious competence, where you don't know what you know. It's called mastery. The beginning of learning is unconscious incompetence, where you don't know what you don't know. That's actually the beginning of learning. And so I teach people how they work. We all process information either visually, auditorily, kinesthetically. And people use that language by how they stand, by how they gesture, by how you look at them. You can tell, is this person a visual processor? Is this person processing auditorily? Is this person processing kinesthetically? And
Scott, how do you think that Stephanie processes?
Well, she's very visual. You can already tell that. She's already very visual. You can see the way she is. You know how I'm moving around a lot. Very kinesthetic, very auditory. You're going to cut me off and all that. Notice how still she is. Look how everything matches so nice. Stephanie's beautiful. Every hair is in place. Her shirt's all nice.
Oh, she's going to want to have you back as a guest again.
But she's very visual. You can see that very clearly.
Definitely.
Yeah, very visual. Now, she's probably got a lot of auditory in her as well. If I was to guess, probably one of her weaker points would be the kinesthetic side, which she'll have to work on developing. My weaker side was always the visual. I learn visually, but, you know, I'm not a visual guy. I buy and process by feeling and by hearing. And so I've had to work on the visual aspect of my development as well.
How about me? What do you think?
You're a lot more auditory, and you've got a lot of kinesthetic too. Now you have visual in you. All women have visual in them, especially professional women, because you know you got to look the part. You got to
look good.
Yeah, but I think you're a lot more auditory, Lisa Marie. A lot more auditory and a lot more kinesthetic. I think you're a lot more like me. You look way better than I do. Don't get me wrong on that. But you're more auditory kinesthetic. You can talk well. I mean, you can talk circles probably around